James for three.
Alexis attacking.
Puso at Lakas, Sports sa Pinas.
Isang mapagpalang Sabado sa inyong mga teammates. Ito po si Coach Jojo Villa ng Fellowship of Christian Athletes at ito ang programang Puso at Lakas Sports sa Pinas sa 702 DZAS FEBC Radio TV. Welcome sa mga teammates natin na madalas makinig sa atin via DWAY 104.3 FM Care Radio sa Bicol, sa DXFE 1197 The Good News Radio sa Davao Region, sa DZRK 106.3 FM Radyo Kapit Bisig sa Palawan, sa DXAS 1116 Your Community Radio sa Zamboanga. Tayo rin po ay napapakinggan via online streaming sa Facebook page natin sa Puso at Lakas Sports sa Pinas, sa FEBC 702 DZAS o kaya sa febc.ph. Welcome po sa ating mga teammates na madalas makinig sa atin, si Ben and Maricar Loriaga, Rosemary Garmino, Kyle Joshua Chan, Nora Cancela, hi Ma'am Nora, Faustina Habla, Coach Glendino Gopez, Remedios San Pedro, Nilo Divina, Aaron Ray Garcho, Mila Pascua, hi Ma'am Mila, Mel Bautista, Aurora Estrella, and Vincent Garcia. Sa pagbabalik ng Puso at Lakas, ang pag-uusapan natin ay bootcamp, training camp, team building, at iba pa. Ang ating guest ay ang sports director ng St. Stephen's High School, si Coach Richard T.
Time out muna kapatid. Magbabalik ang Puso at Lakas, Sports sa Pinas.
GCash Biller na ang FEBC Philippines. Heto ang steps kung paano mag-donate through GCash. Una, buksan ang iyong GCash app. I-click ang Bills, then search Billers. I-type ang FEBC Philippines. Ilagay ang amount na gusto mong i-donate. Then enter your name, mobile number at email address. Tap Next para i-confirm ang transaction. Isang paalala na ang minimum donation sa GCash Biller ay 20 pesos. 10,000 pesos naman ang maximum per transaction. For other ways to give, bisitahin ang febc.ph/give. Para sa iba pang katanungan, mag-message lamang sa FEBC Philippines Facebook page o mag-text sa 0927-778-6909.
Ito ang 702 DZAS.
702 DZAS.
Agapay ng Sambayanan. Kasapi sa KBP, kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas.
Puso at Lakas, Sports sa Pinas. Pusong kampyon. Siya na nga, luha at galak. Mga sikreto ng marugdog na ensayo at pagtatagumpay sa larangan ng sports. Pusong kampyon.
Magandang hapon mga kaagapay. No? Pag-usapan natin ay bootcamp or training camp or any team building activity. And our guest is the St. Stephen's sports director, no? Or athletic director. Dati siyang volleyball coach at maganda siyang resource speaker dahil responsibility niya lahat yan. Being the overall director of sports of St. Stephen's, let's all welcome Coach Richard T. Hi, Coach Richard.
Hi, Coach Jojo. Thank you for having me.
Coach Richard, ang unang tanong ko dito is, bakit ba nag-hold ang mga eskwelahan ng either bootcamp, sa iba ang tawag nila, sa iba naman training camp, sa iba ang tawag naman nila ay team building. Ano ba ang importansya nito?
Team building, generally, kaya sinabing team, no? You want to build the team to have that cohesion, camaraderie. In sports, it's not just about training hard. It's the relationship that you have with your team. And oftentimes, kaya iba, boot camp, pag sinabi, parang something that you would do very, very hard, very difficult things, same thing with sports. Sports is something that you do na medyo mabigat. And doing something different outside sports, nag-change lang yung environment, but still the objective is to have that intense siguro environment or intense activity para ma-develop yung bond, yung friendship. Kasi doon kayo nagtutulungan, lahat kayo naghihirap. And when you strive together to achieve a goal, it builds emotional bond with your teammates. Kaya ayun, kaya ginagawa yun. Kasi pagsabak mo sa, kunyari, pasokan na, no? Puro aral, tsaka yung ano na lang tsaka yung sports. Now, during off season, it's a good way to have bonding outside of sports.
Alam mo, Coach Richard, no, tama yung sinabi mo, no? It's more on building camaraderie, building relationships sa mga players. Kasi may mga players na nag-graduate and then may mga papasok na bago. Hindi naman to lahat talagang magkakaibigan. So, kailangan dito ng team bonding, no? Ang problema lang is pag sinabing bootcamp dito sa no, sa nangyari the past few days, no?
Yeah,
Almost
so sad.
almost magto 2 weeks na, no? Ang binanggit na word lagi is bootcamp. And pag sinabing bootcamp, ang pumapasok dito is parang military training or medyo sadistic yung paggagawa. Yung paggagawa sa inyo ay para kayong magte-training na sa Navy SEALs, no? And kasi hindi naman paggagawa yon kung coming from rest or vacation. Kasi I think karamihan ng mga team building activities, siguro nandito to sa pre-season. Madalas ba ginagawa to sa inyong pagkaalam, no, being the sports director, ginagawa ba to pre-season or gaano kalapit pag malapit na yung tournament?
Siguro yung bootcamp, siguro we have to be clear din, no one of us can really judge what happened. Kasi it's really unfair for that. As a coach, I feel for Tabal din. It's definitely ayaw niya yan. Kung ginagawa ba yun? During summer trainings, yung ginagawa namin, it's just like bootcamp. Yung conditioning workout, it's just like bootcamp. It's just that yung outside, ginawa nila sa may beach, it's a different environment then. Now, of course, yung detailed activity, we don't know. Pero it's a good way to have hard training. What are the things na ginawa namin na something outside pero difficult? May ginawa kami, we did relief program kasama ng mga players. Ang ginawa nila, nagbuhat ng some stuff going up to siguro mga kailangan tulong ng mga tao, and they enjoyed it. Yung intensity, yung degree of difficulty, it's case to case. As a coach, tansya naman nila yan kung ano yung pagkamatinong coach. Pagkamatinong coach, tansyado nila yan. What can be done and what cannot be done. Talaga bang kailangan? There are many ways. That's one of the way.
Coach Richard, binanggit mo, no, na nagdadala sila ng mga gamit. Ibig sabihin, nagbubuhat,
Yes.
paakyat. Does this tell us na pumupunta kayo sa bundok na or anong activity yon? Kasi
Yeah.
ang una pumasok sa isip ko lang nagdadala ng mga gamit, mga relief goods sa mga places siguro na kailangan ng mga gamit or
Yeah.
kailangan ng pagkain. Saan niyo ba sila dinadala?
Ito, dinala namin sa Cainta. May bundok doon, may mission house. So I told the players, it's a good place where we can serve. the the less fortunate people. So kayo, we'll go there to serve them. Then may mga parents nag-donate libro, fruits, toys, and so on. Yeah, may binuhat naman sila. Kaya lang, since mga babaeng players yun, no? So actually, mas mabigat yung binuhat ko. But it's really the whole experience of it, eh. Naakyat sila to a place na something different. It's to serve other people. Siguro, those are just some examples that we did. Yung may iba, kunyari dito, sa St. Stephen's, I'm planning on, okay, how can we be more relevant sa community? O siguro, conduct tayo ng sports clinic sa mga bata o kaya sa neighbors. So, hindi rin madali yun kasi it would test the patience of the athletes. Tapos, hindi rin controlled environment yun kasi there are other people who can just go in, baka may masamang intention doon, may magnakaw or ma-hurt yung mga bata. Kaya nga, it's an awakening at what happened. Ako, we have to make our guidelines sa school whenever we do this extra activity outside the campus. Hindi na siya yung controlled environment. Okay, may competition. This is something new.
Richard, nabanggit mo no, na yung pinagawa mo, kakaiba or iba, no? But since kailangan nilang magbuhat, so may parang tawag nito, sinisimulate nyo na ito na yung physical training, no? Pero, and dahil babae sila, as compared sa mga lalaki, no? Being the former volleyball coach of St. Stephen's High School, syempre, case-to-case basis, binanggit mo. So, yung degree ng paggagawa mo sa kanila, mahirap na yon dahil paakyat, tapos may weight bearing, no, na magpapahina sa iyo. In fact, just going up a mountain na wala kang dala, mahirap na. Ngayon ito pang may dala, no. Coach Richard, no, nabanggit natin na of what transpired the past few days, no. Boot camp ang ginagamit na word or training camp, no. Can you, yung mga viewers natin, no, can you educate na, kasi yung iba, ang unang naiisip nila pag sinabing boot camp, talagang parang, alam mo yun, initiation or hazing. Sa ginagawa mo, no, ano talaga itong sinasabi na training camp para sa mga atleta?
Yeah. Sa atleta, usually training camp is something that would enhance your skills. Yun yung training kasi it's sports related. Yung may mga teams kami dito, they went to Zambales, joined sa Zambales. They went to Tagaytay, may training camp kasi they invited a coach na mataas yung level. And since it's isolated, nandoon sila, all their focus is towards that lang. Tapos, syempre, may mga break. Part of the training is they can discuss about their sports. Then they can learn something to help them become better. I think the main difference lang ng bootcamp, yun nga, na-mention mo, it's like a Navy SEALs training. Kasi that's how they call it, eh. Yung mga Navy SEALs training, if you have watched yung Remember the Titans, parang ganun, gigisingin na madaling araw, para pa-joggingin. It's really testing your will na tumigas yung will mo. Is it good? Well, it helps. Pero ano yung parameters? What are the guidelines bago pwedeng ilagay sa ganung condition yung mga players? Since sa akin, high school, yung mga players, extra careful yan. Kung siguro nung bata-bata ako, sige, go. Now, I'm in the role of in the admin. Lahat iisipin mo what may happen kapag ganito. So yung critical thinking mo, uh, lalabas lahat eh. The first is talaga protection of the youth. Uh, May mangyayari ba sa kanila o wala? Next is how would it impact the bigger community, which is first yung school namin, and then second, our relationships with all the other schools and the parents. Eh ngayon may social media pa. It's the whole world.
Mm-mm. So Coach Richard, no, para lang ma-differentiate natin, ang ganda ng binanggit mo, no? Pag sinabing bootcamp, medyo pwede natin i-compare to or i-compare, no, or i-ugnay na parang may konting, hindi na kaunti, parang military
Military.
training, no? Yung
Yes.
para kang pumasok sa yung CMT pag college, no? Yung Citizens Military Training or Navy SEALs, no? Yung gigisingin ka ng maaga, tapos grabe yung push-ups, grabe yung sit-ups, tapos back and forth ang dami mong gagawin, and ang goal nun is yung ano, no, yung physical limits ng isang tao, no, ng
Yeah.
isang player, yung mental limit or yung psychological limit ng isang tao kung siya ba ay bibigay, kasi may iba na grabe yung tolerance level sa pain, no? Hindi natin sinasabing sinasaktan natin. Yung pain na mahirap yung ginagawa. And dito lumalabas na kung sino yung fighter. When I say fighter, na talagang laban lang, no?
Yeah.
And malalaman natin dito kung sino yung mga leaders, no? Born leaders, and then yung iba, may kita mo na may mga followers.
Yeah.
Binanggit mo nga, kahit sa simpleng activity, sabi mo nga, may ginawa kayo dati na may mga tao na kung may masama yung kanyang hangarin, talagang malalagay sa alanganin ang iyong mga players. Kasi ang pinaka-safe siguro na place kung kayo ay talagang nakakulong, wala nang pwedeng pumasok. But being with other people or in an environment na may mga taong pwedeng sumama sa inyo, manood, especially pag training camp, may magtuturo na skills, may mga tambay, or pagdating naman sa boot camp, ilagay natin sa isang lugar na beach, no? Na nagkataon baka malakas yung alon, and pag malakas yung alon, hindi maganda, hindi favorable yung weather, pwedeng magkaroon ng mga riptide. So being the athletic director of St. Stephen's, Coach, ano yung mga guidelines na mga importante, especially right now, medyo tumaas yung alarm level. So lahat kailangan mag-ingat because of what happened.
Yeah. Kanina kakwentuhan ko lang yung ibang staff dito. Lahat bawal para walang problema. But yeah, then again, if lahat bawal, walang problema, there's no growth. So growth, first of all, sa amin, we have to think more critically. All aspect babantayan mo. Yun yung mga questions Who will be there sa event na yan? Mga bata, mga coaches, and so on. What activity will they do? Kailangan malinaw yon, nakalista. Okay, these are the activities. Then, pagka nakita mo na activities, are these safe? Ano yung mga possible na mangyaring negative? Number 3 is yung rules and regulations, nakaset yung guidelines ng mga gagawa ng activity na yon. Okay, pagka mga bata yan, okay, what will you do? What are the behaviors that are allowed? What are the behaviors that are not allowed? Then sino magbabantay? Pag kami magbabantay, what is the ratio of people guarding? Then lalo na sa mga coaches, sa ibang sports, no? Of course, we can be open about this. Ibang sports, nagdadala ng alak yung mga players. Sana yung hindi coaches na nagpasimuno nun. Pero in reality, meron din.
Mhm.
But sa amin, yun, we really have to be very strict. No liquors. Uh, kung lalaki lang ang puro lalaki yan. Uh, there should be enough adults. Kung maraming young kids na pupunta doon, kunyari below 11 or below 12 years old, may guardian. We will invite a parent to join para hindi lang si coach yung bantay ka rin ng other parents. So you have to think about all those things eh. Activities, safety, schedules, programs, and then in every aspect, titignan mo what may happen in every aspect. Naging mas mahirap yung trabaho, but I think it's also good mabantayan ulit lahat ng tao. Kasi if not, we can be complacent. Lahat pwede. Yun. So I think it's something, ay, hindi ko naman masabi it's something good, Pero uh, it did happen and it's a wake-up call.
Mm. Ako, I can say na tragedy yun, no? It's tragic, no? Hindi natin gustong mangyari ito. But the good thing that will come out of this is lahat ngayon alerto. Hindi na pwede yung tutulog-tulog, na pabaya. Binanggit mo nga na may nagdadala ng alak. Mabuti kung alak lang. E paano kung may nagdadala pa ng mga bawal na mga substance, no? Kung may nagdadala ng droga, no? It's a wake-up call for everybody. Lalo na yung, kunyari, pupunta sa beach. And maybe, mas nangyayari to sa mga collegiate level, no? Nagiinuman, di ba? Tapos, mag-swimming, nakainom, di ba?
Yeah.
Ano kung medyo clouded na yung judgment, nag-swimming gabi, tapos hindi napansin na akala ordinaryong alon, hindi niya alam na malakas na pala, na ang ikadudulot nito ay mabigat, no? Mabigat na drowning, di ba? And tatamaan yung mga eskwelahan. So, Coach Richard, ano kaya ang, kunyari, meron tayo ay nasa sa dagat, no? Ang team building ay nasa isang dagat or resort, no? Tingin mo ba kung may mga activity na, kunyari, kahit sabihin mo may running sa tubig kasi maganda yon, resistance, no? Parang may weights, no? Dapat ba may gaano kadami ang lifeguard? Hindi, di ba? Or ano dapat ang mga safeguards na dapat gawin?
Nako, yung technical aspect yan, wala akong masasagot. You really have to get someone who is experienced na nagawa na nila yon and sila magsasabi sa atin. On my end, I don't know eh. Ang alam ko, volleyball.
Hindi, pero kunyari ano lang, ang
So,
safe, ano lang,
ano yung
ano
mga
ang
safe
pwede mong
na?
gawin? O anong pwedeng gawin ng
Okay,
ng
siguro
mga
first is,
admin?
ocular, check mo yung pupuntahan nila. Get historicals. Kung may nalunod na ba doon or wala. And then, try to know what activity should be done. Kung may risk of drowning or risk of mahatakan nung waves, alam mo nang may risk eh. Don't do it. Parang sa sports, basketball or volleyball, itong activity na to, mataas ang risk of injury, then I won't do it. I won't compromise. I won't take that yung risk na yun na it could cost someone's life. Yung alam naman may danger, yung may nakalagay, no? Danger, don't do this. O kaya warning. Then di na gagawin. Historicals, programs, do ocular. Kung sino yung marunong doon sa area na yon, consult, a lot of consultations. It's better to make an error in being safe rather than regret doon sa mistakes.
Mm. Alam mo, Coach Richard, no, laging sinasabi ng daddy ni Janet to only the paranoid survive. And I think naniniwala ako doon, no, na kung isang team pupunta sa isang beach, no, hindi naman, kasi kung inisip ko nga, paano kung isa ang lifeguard? Kaso nga ang sinama nga ng alon tatlo o apat. Kasi I've seen a lot of videos. Pinag-aaralan ko masyado yung riptide, no? And minsan hinahatak apat, 5 tao, tapos ilalayo kagad. So, tingin mo ba dapat pag ang activity ay nasa dagat, may konting ini-educate na kagad yung mga players? Kasi kahit sabihin mong safe, pwedeng mangyari, no? Or pwedeng mangyaring may riptide. Kahit sabihin mo walang history of riptide, pero nagkaroon. Or bigla na lang na talagang hindi marunong mag-swimming, biglang hindi malakas na swimmer, biglang hinatak palabas dahil medyo eengot-engot, no? Ano ang tingin mo ang mga pwedeng gawin ng mga school officials right now?
Right now, the school officials, yun na mention mo, paranoid, you have to be, you always have to check and double check and let the people who would perform yung activity na yon has to prove it na 100% safe. They have to prove it. On the admin side, extra caution lang talaga Kung pwedeng may alternative training, go to the alternative training. Ayun. And then education education ng mga admin and even for the coaches. Yung may mga nakita ako na course, I already asked yung principal namin if they would support me on that because I want to take up yung course na yon. Kasi in reality, hindi rin natin alam I've been in this position for a short time. Coaching, yes. Matagal na. And you know what are the things that you can be careful of. Pero we still make mistakes as coaches. Minsan may mga decisions ka na, okay, sige, pwede yan. Na pwedeng mag-cause ng injury or harm because of the heat of the moment ng intensity ng game. Sometimes you would say something wrong pa rin So anyway, going back dun sa sinabi mo nga, what are the things that administrators should do? Study, consult, create a forum para maiwasan yun. It's not just for me as St. Stephen's director. Every school admin should now talk with each other, ano yung pwedeng gawin and so on. Not one person, even for me. Ako iniisip ko, wala. Admin people are so busy. They need to have a collective body who would discuss better nga kapag mga sa sports associations. They'll come up with guidelines. It is to help the different administrators to learn what to do, what not to do.
Mm-hmm. Alam mo, Coach Richard, no, nung the past few days, lagi kong sinasabihan yung anak ko na, anak, riptide, no? Siguro, baka nabingi na siya sa akin, no, sa riptide, no? Kasi, ang goal namin ng wife ko is for her na maalala kung ano yung pwedeng mangyari, no? Especially kung nagkaroon ng riptide, no? And, I think yun yung nangyari, no? Ang sabi ni Coach Tab, it was a routine activity, jogging, no? Tapos biglang nahatak. So, ang tingin ko doon is riptide, no? So, ang mga naisip ko noon, number one, meron ba silang mga sapat na mga gamit, no? Yung nakikita mo sa Baywatch, yung kulay orange, no? Na meron
Mm.
silang mga salbabida,
Okay.
no?
Oo.
Mga salbabida. Yun yung una kong naisip. Tapos, siyempre, may mga lifeguards, no? Na siguro dalawa. Dalawa. Just to be safe. Ateneo naman yun. May budget naman yun eh. So, kung pumunta sa bundok, Coach Richard, ang naisip ko nun, for example, yung iba kasi ang ginagawa nila may mga
Tour guide.
trekking activities, no, or mountain climbing, tapos mag sa setup ng camp, 'di ba? Para matuto ng mga life skills yung mga players. So ang nabanggit ko noon nung I was interviewed by DZAS 702, may kasama sila at least mga tatlo na marunong sa mountaineering, yung
Mm.
marunong ng rescue, kunyari nahulog lang. Hindi naman nahulog sa bangin dahil dinala nyo sa matarik na pag nahulog, pilay-palay. Ano yun? Yung ano lang, nadulas, siguro 10 to 15 feet, nahulog, so hahatakin. Tapos marunong ng mga CPR, no? Yung mga skills na tinuturo ng Red Cross. So, Coach Richard, tingin mo ba yung CPR, yung mga tinuturo ng Red Cross, tingin mo kailangan ngayon na mag-upgrade ng skills yung mga uh, officials sa mga eskwelahan, yung kung may trainer or coach, tingin mo ba dapat yung basic alam nila ngayon?
Yeah. Pero ano lang, no, para yung regarding do sa mga players ko na umakyat ng bundok, mababa lang yung bundok, ha. Baka akala nila mahirap eh. And may mission house doon na talaga naka-station. So it's a safe place. Now, when it comes to basic survival or basic first aid, all coaches should be equipped with that. Basic injuries, may nabagok, may pumutok na na forehead. Kasi sa amin madalas baba pumuputok, forehead, yan. Anong gagawin? And then pagka na-sprain, everybody should know that. Another is kunyari nabagok kasi we have movements na yes, ikot, minsan nagkamali, tatama yung ulo sa sa floor. So what will you do kapag nahilo, kapag sumuka? Those are the basic things. Not only upgrade. I think all coaches should have the basic first aid skills, first aid knowledge. Kasi ikaw na yung pinakamalapit doon and you're the first responder. Pagka na kunyari pumutok yung yung baba, tuloy-tuloy yung dugo niyan pagka malaki. If you don't know, nagpanic, wala na. If you would be doing yung sa activity sa beach or there are waters, dapat marunong ka mag-swimming. If not, you have no business in having that done.
Mm-mm.
So,
Alam mo,
yeah.
yeah.
Tama. Knowledge.
Mm. Coach Richard, no, regarding yung mga CPR, no, ako nag-aaral ako niyan pero nakalimutan ko. So, kailangan kong mag-refresher course. Regarding sa mga injuries, no, and yung mga injuries, hindi mo masasabi yan kasi aksidente yan, no? Pwedeng matwist yung ankle, di ba? Tapos,
Dislocation.
and madalas pag may kita mo sa mga napapanood ko, minsan may na-injure, no? Tapos
Pagpag mo lang.
yung mga kapwa teammates may gagawin. Ako sabi ko, di ba mas maganda yata? Ano ba dapat? Kunyari, may isang player na injure either sa training or sa team
Sa
building
game.
activity. Anong unang kailangan gawin?
First, don't panic. Don't panic kasi yan nagpapanik kung ano na gagawin I have a player, no, wala ako nung game na yun assistant coach ko yung nandoon, wala ako ng game, nakatapak ng opponent, nag-twist, sakit daw yung tuhod, important game, kaya yan mga players hinahatak para diretso, para diretsuhin yung tuhod, sigaw na sigaw. Ayun, may tear yung ligament. So, so the coach should know how to de-escalate yung yung emotions, yung panic. Then, kapag may mga tournaments, pagka may medic, they call the medic. Kapag hindi aware si coach or assistant coach, basically immobilize muna yung mga movement. Kapag marunong siya, then the person needs to assess, okay, saan masakit? What's the degree of pain? Pumipitik ba yung para bang ini-stab or hindi? Now, pagka nakita may swelling, okay, dangerous na kasi pagka immediate swelling, fracture. Pagka konting pag-mobilize na walang weight na nilalagay, masakit na, wag na galawin yan. Kaya yung basic the person has to know. So ngayon, first kailangan may training si coach. Second, kunyari sa school, palagi nandiyan yung school nurse kapag may incident. Yun, pag tawag sa akin dito sa school na to, to coach before, first thing na tinanong ko yan meron bang school nurse on duty? I think it's already a protocol na may school nurse, lalo na kapag si coach hindi marunong sa first aid. Then second, may kakilala ka ng hospital na malapit na nakipag-arrange ka na in any incident, punta kami dito and then immediate action para hindi nahanapan na may budget ba yan, may pera pa yan. Of course, kapag emergency ngayon, di ba? Required to treat it regardless of. Iba pa rin pagka may partnership na yung school with the nearest hospital to do the first aid. Siyempre, dapat capable din yun. Ang tanong lang dyan is, paano kung walang budget yung school for that? Kawawa naman, no? But it's really something to think about.
Naalala ko, Coach Richard, no, yung kay Samboy Lim, sikat na player, nung nagkaroon ng problema siya, I think sa Inares, no, sa near Pasig, walang marunong ng yung basic skills, no, yung CPR. So, tapos wala yatang equipment.
Yeah.
That time, December pa, buhol-buhol ang traffic. It took him more than 30 minutes. So,
Yeah.
bago nadala sa hospital. Ang importante, dapat may kagamitan na, may trained personnel, no? Tapos may kagamitan habang wala pa yung ambulansya or habang hindi pa nadadala sa hospital. Napanood ako kanina na isang video nung nangyari sa sa Baler. Ang sabi nung isa na hininto muna nila yung CPR para madala nila sa hospital, no? So ang daming nagsasabi na dapat CPR muna bago dinala. Siyempre, I think ina-assess nila yung nangyari, no? Either kung kailangan talagang i-rush na dahil kailangan yung gagawa talaga ay mataas na level, which is yung mga doctors, no?
Yeah.
So, Richard, itong nangyaring ito, no? Yung incident sa Ateneo, ayaw natin mangyari kahit kanino man to. So, ano ang effect nito sa sporting community?
Well, immediate namin na ginawa dito. First pa lang, all athletes would required talaga yung medical certificate muna, including ECG. May medical clearance. Yes, they have parents' consent, may waiver and so on. Pero first medical clearance kailangan. Sa sporting world, ano mangyayari? Extra caution. Pagka tournaments, ngayon meron ng mga first responder. Um, sa alumni tournament nga namin, may blood pressure. Kapag lumagpas ng 140 yung blood pressure mo, paparest ka muna ng 10 minutes. Before the game, ha? Tapos kapag tinest ulit, mataas ng 40, not fit to play. Ganun ka. Kasi dami namatay na sa amin. For younger people, I think magiging mas careful na. Medical clearance would now be really required. Pagkarating sa orientation, do's and don'ts, kailangan maging aware yung mga athletes. Orientation with the parents, make sure that their kids are sleeping well, are eating well. Kasi they don't just sign parents' consent without really thinking of their children. In terms of activities naman, we will be very strict in approving what activities needs to be done, or kasi minsan coaches, helpful to, napanood ko sa TV to. This time around, we really have to think more deeply about it.
Very thorough program, di ba? Ibig sabihin, uusisain, ibubusisi kung ito ba ay angkop, no? Binanggit mo kung angkop to sa age level, no? Kasi meron nga iba, binabanggit mo na nakita sa television. So kung anong paggagawa, no? Nakita siguro sa YouTube na, ito ginagawa ng Michigan State Basketball. Pumunta sila sa beach. Tapos kumuha sila ng, for example, mga Navy SEALs instructor. So, kukopyahin. Ang hindi naintindihan ng mga magpapagawa nun, itong mga undergoing the training, no? Itong mga nagbo-bootcamp. Especially we're talking about sa US kasi very strict dyan, no, yung mga protocols. Hindi nila alam na for 2 months, nagpa-condition na, ready na for battle. So pag nag-Navy SEALs training sila, kinakaya nila. Hindi ko sinasabing kakayanin kasi mahirap yung training nga na ipagagawa. Pero matatest nila kung ano yung limits nila, no? And yung iba, ito maganda yung topic, aqua training. Ang daming nagsasabi na aqua training. So, Coach Nathan, ano ba ang pagkaalam mo dito sa aqua training?
Aqua training is parang may resistance lang yung movement mo without the stress of the joints. Kaya doon ka sa swimming pool, you still do some footworks. Baka yung aqua training nila is holding the breath. Pwede mo naman i-hold yung breath mo na wala ka sa tubig. And sometimes, dangerous yung there's this team sa swimming, swimming. Supposed to be marunong mag-swimming to. Almost drowned, I think. Yeah, almost drowned sa swimming. Kasi meron silang training na yung hold your breath under the water from one end to another end. Imagine, dineprive mo yung utak mo ng oxygen for this amount of time. Tapos if you do that repeatedly, pwede ka mag-blackout eh. So that's what they said. Ako di ko alam, di ko susubukan yon. But mixed martial arts, yung pagka na-blackout ka, ginigising ka agad, and you have to be checked. So, daming may mga trainings na aqua training, it's supposed to be for resistance, not for anything else. Yun iba, masaya, uso niyo yung aqua training. Hindi lahat ng uso. Kanina may na-mention ako about sa movies, movies, Hollywood, it's for entertainment, yung wow factor, but not everything is recommended. In fact, nung nagbabasa ako ng libro, there was this professor who told me to criticize the book. So, ibig sabihin, not all authors, yung sinulat nila, are agreeable. You would be able to find something not agreeable. Or all the more sa movies. Yung minsan, it looks good, very dramatic. Parang pagka ginawa nila to, it would somehow give them a certain sense of pride or confidence. Yeah, pwede. Pero na-mention mo kanina, what are the conditions? Ano ba yun? Nakapag-train ba sila or what? So again, not everything that we see in movies, even in what other super teams have done, pwede nating gayahin. They have a different construct of how they were able to arrive there. Not everyone can.
Mm. Yung iba kasi, di ba, nababasa nila, nakikita nila. In fact, may nakita akong video ng San Antonio Spurs doing water, hindi ko alam kung anong tawag sa training nila.
Water discipline.
Oo, bumababa, tapos may brick, ginagalaw yung brick, tapos aakyat. I think, ano yun training ng Navy SEALs, no? So, may nagtanong sa akin, Coach, ginagawa naman ng mga pro teams eh. Oo, sabi ko, pero pag ginagawa ng pro teams yan, nako, yung mga in charge of that training, meron nasa taas, wala sa tubig, meron nasa tubig, tapos meron nasa ilalim. Kasi tinitignan nila lahat, no? They make sure na pag nakita lang nag-blackout, kagad, hinahatak nila. Especially pag, alam yun, hirap na hirap. Pero hindi nila gagawin yon sa mga NBA teams kasi ang goal lang naman nila doon is magawa lang yung activity at wala naman silang balak na maging Navy SEALs na pupunta sa dagat talaga at may mga dalang bomba na, di ba? Ang goal lang nila dito is to test their physical, psychological, and mental limits, no? And Coach Richard, no? Ang aqua training, ginagawa yan ng most teams dahil yung to risk injury, no? Dahil sa tubig nga, yung resistance na gagawa na, tapos hindi pa may injure ang mga bata, no?
Yeah.
And Coach Richard, may naisip ka bang mga activity na hindi naman kailangan gawin sa tubig, na kailangan gawin, kaya namang gawin sa lupa? Ano yung example na ganun?
For example, endurance. You need endurance sa legs and cardio. Stationary bike. Ngayon, meron na yung to strengthen the arms na walang stress. Hindi nga weights eh. Yung meron na ngayon yung arms na parang stationary bike. Yun yung gagalawin mo. You just have to let them understand, para saan to. You know which muscle group na pwede gawin. Kaya nga inimbento yung mga inimbento yung mga ganong mga machines eh. It's really to help us. Nung bata ako, winelding lang ng mga parts ng sasakyan kasi nasa auto supply kami, no? Winelding, niligay sa bar, yun na yung weights. Then, wala namang dati, wala namang YouTube or lessons. Pupunta lang kami ng kuya ko sa National Bookstore. Magbabasa kasi wala rin kaming pera pambili, no? Magbabasa doon sa National Bookstore. Ito, pwedeng gawin to. Then gagawin na namin. Now, with all the information, we just have to be disciplined enough, hardworking enough to study. Hindi lang basta-basta gagawin. All information now are available in the internet. Pero kailangan mag-isip ka rin, So you try it and so on. Discipline talaga. Then wag mag-imbento ng hindi sinusubukan. Inventors nga tinetest eh. So tayo, i-test muna natin before we invent and apply.
Being creative, libre yan, no? Pwedeng mag-improvise. At the same time, titignan natin yung safety, no? Alam mo, ang mga pumasok sa akin na habang nag-uusap tayo ngayon, yung mga safety, yung mga free diving, di ba? Ang lalalim nun. Habang nasa ilalim nga ng tubig, may mga kasabay nga tatlo o dalawa. Di ba? So, ibig sabihin, professional divers to, pero grabe yung safety precautions, no? Nag-aano sila bago umakyat, may safety stop kasi para hindi mabigla.
Mm.
So, it's very important na ano yung tawag nito, yung pwedeng mangyari, extreme case. Dapat ba ganun tayo mag-isip? Or dapat from a scale of 1 to 10, ano ba dapat ang gawin?
We can always be very careful in everything. Pero there will always be accidents. Yung kanina nasabi natin, Navy SEALs training, nakapag-prepare na and so on. Siyempre, hindi lalabas sa news yung ilan ang namatay sa Navy SEALs training. Ano yan? May news blackout yan. My elder brother, nasa PMMA siya, no? Philippine Maritime Marine. Yung training nila, grabe din eh. Yung verbal, sinisigawan sila. Di ata pwede sabihin may hazing, pero talagang may physical eh. Naging partner. Sabi ko, ba't ganun? Why is it needed? Yan pala, syempre, military, pagka na-capture ka ng enemy, hindi ka bibigay. So, sometimes I don't agree, pero kapag nandoon ka sa war, tapos it's part of the training. You signed up for it. Do I agree with it? Meron bang ibang ways para magkaroon ng mental toughness sa military? I don't know. Sa sports, alam ko, hindi ka naman kikidnapin na, papatalo ka Wala namang ganun eh. So, there are other ways. Para sa akin, what are the ways? I'm a believer in Christ, so how do you hold on to your faith? How to hold on to your faith na hindi ka gagawa ng mali? Kapag naka-face ka ng ganitong mga challenges, what should you remember? Where does your confidence comes from? So, yung mga truths, mga wisdom that has been proven na to sa among believers na the most resilient people that I've seen are people who are very strong in their faith in God. I don't want to be very preachy, pero the people that I admire most, whether sa ministry, whether sa business, even in sports, are those people who have strong belief in God. Bakit? Kasi sila yung tao na may strong family structure. They are the people who hang out with individuals who shares the same belief and strengthens one another. These are the people who really studies deep meditation of word, very diligent in studying other fields of science or even psychology. So, ito yung mga nag-aaral. So, iniisip ko, teka, we need to impress more. Ano yung God's truth? And then have them in an environment of, safe sila, encouraging, and so on. Well, siguro sa anak ko, I did a lot of mistakes din sa mga anak ko. Pero one thing that I think I've keep on practicing is encouraging them. And then unconditional acceptance, unconditional love. I make it a point that they know that I value them. Sobrang lakas ng strengthening sa will ng tao 'yon. And I've tested it as well sa mga players. I think the players would say that I love them. That's why they do everything that they can. If without them knowing that I love them, kahit anong pahirap na gawin ko, malakas nga yung will mo and so on. Now it becomes how strong I am because of my experience rather than how strong I am because of the people who loves me. I think that's one of the way. Maramdaman nila na mahal mo sila without putting unnecessary stress, I think.
Gusto ko yung Richard, na alam ng mga players na mahal sila ni coach, na walang unnecessary stress, or hindi sila ilalagay sa alanganin. But binanggit mo nga, accidents happen, no? Nabanggit ko sa mga players ko before na there are 3 things na pwede mong hindi ako sundan, no? Number 1, if I ask you to do something that is immoral, no? Mali sa mata ng Panginoon. That's number 1. Number 2, if I ask you to do something that is illegal, something wrong in the eyes of the government.
Yeah.
Number 3, if I would cause you something na ikamamatay mo, wag mo akong sundan, no? So, yes, continue to encourage, strengthen our players, and also ilagay natin sila sa isang environment na we make sure that it is very safe. When we say safe, may due diligence. Ginawa natin lahat, no? Plus, yung mga safety protocols, no? Para hindi mangyari yung ayaw nating mangyari.
May dagdag lang.
Prevention is better, no?
Yeah, prevention, I got a chance to visit and play. Naglaro yung mga teams namin sa international schools. All the surroundings nila, makikita mo, pinag-isipan, pinag-aralan. Yung pagka nabunggo ka doon sa pader na yon, hindi ka may injure. Walang kanto na pwedeng pumutok yung ulo. Of course, pagka natapilo ka, hindi nakasalanan ng sahig yun, Pero, so, talaga, everything napag-isipan mabuti. In architecture sa inaral namin, yung ergonomics, ano yung design consideration, safety ba, so marami tayong isipin. And creating a safe environment is a loving thing to do.
Thank you, Richard, for being our guest, no? Yung gusto kong mga last words na gusto kong banggitin yung safety is not the absence of danger, but safety is being in the presence of the Lord. Diba? And, syempre, kailangan natin mag-ingat, no? Coach Richard, thank you for being our guest, no? Ang dami kong natutunan.
Pleasure.
Yung ating
Napaisip din ako.
No? Ang maganda dyan, habang nagkakwentuhan tayo, malalaman mo rin na, ano ba pwedeng maidagdag na pwedeng ipasok sa aking memory bank na pwedeng makatulong sa aking team, no? Maraming salamat, no, mga kaagapay, sa inyong pakikinig. Ito po si Coach Jojo Villa ng Fellowship of Christian Athletes at inyong napakinggan ang programang Puso at Lakas, Sports sa Pinas sa 702 DZAS, FEBC Radio TV, agapay ng Sambayanan, membro ng KBP, kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas. Magandang Sabado po sa inyong lahat. God bless you.
God bless. Thank you.
Puso at Lakas, Sports sa Pinas, sa pakikipagtulungan ng Fellowship of Coaches and Athletes at ng Far East Broadcasting Company Philippines.